Monday flow. Hi everyone, it is good to see you guys again after a couple of weeks. Today, as always, we have our new Monday flow. Hi baby. And I have a really good one for you guys today. So if you have yoga blocks, I would suggest grabbing them. If you have two, that's great. If you have one, that's also great. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can either get a couple of thick books. We will be using them for a little bit of, excuse me, Sophia, of lifting like this. So the book should be about the same size. And then we will also be using them to challenge our core. So if you don't have blocks, then yes, a book would work. Or even a pillow. We'll be putting it between our knees and our hands. So this is the benefit of doing it at home. We have so many different props that we can use. So grab some blocks, a pillow, maybe some water, roll out your mat with me, grab your furry friend, and we will get started. Great, so let's start in an easy seat, just cross-legged in a nice, comfortable, easy seat. If this is not comfortable for you, find what is. So we can rest your hands on your knees, and then roll your shoulders up and down your back so you can sit up really tall. Just as we begin here, let's just start to center ourselves. So breathe in through the nose. Let that chest rise and exhale. Great, softly close the eyes here. Bring your awareness away from the things that are distracting and bring it to your mat and to your body. Slow breath in and out through the nose. Feeling grounded through the hip points as you breathe. Just giving ourselves a little bit of space here as we start. Letting the crown of the head reach towards the sky and the hip bones press down into the mat. Great. Taking slow movements here. We're going to let your chin come down towards your chest, but keep those shoulders back and the spine long. So you should start to feel a stretch in the back of your neck. Great, bring it back up through center and then bring that right ear over your right shoulder. Pressing that left shoulder down with your shoulder blade and your shoulder muscles. And if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch into your side neck, you might bring your right hand to the top of your head. Great. Gently bring that neck back through center and then bring your left ear over your left shoulder, pressing that right shoulder down, maybe bringing the hand to the top of your head. Great. Bring both of your hands down to your knees, neck back through center. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back down the back. All right, let's come into hands and knees here, finding cat and cow. All right, hands are right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. On your inhale, let the belly fall down into a U. Press the chest forward through the arms. Should feel nice on your front side body. Exhale, round the back, cat pose. Inhale, cow. And exhale to cat. Going at your own pace here, and feel free to find some organic movement as you wake up your spine, maybe for the first time today. So maybe just wiggling side to side, finding some movement that feels good. Great. All right, let's find a neutral spine, so not cat or not cow, right in the middle. We'll curl the toes under and zip up that low core, and we'll start to raise the knees to come hover away from the mat into beast pose. Pressing into all 10 fingers, spine is long, shoulders down away from your ears. All right, and keep holding, keep breathing. Now let's press your hips to the sky, send the backs of the legs towards the back of your mat. First down dog right here, wrapping the triceps underneath the body, low core is in. And as always, if you know that you have tight hamstrings, take a bend in your knees. That'll make sure that your hips can go super high and that you are not straining your low back. Again, you can take some organic movement here, maybe bending your knees, maybe sway side to side. I love swaying side to side in my down dog. Maybe looking up underneath your shoulder. And then when you're ready, find your static down dog. Low core is in. Press through all 10 fingers like you're pressing the mat away from your body. Great. Take the feet out wide to the width of your mat. And then we're going to come up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, send your hips high. Chest towards the thighs. Great. You can let the feet melt down to the mat once more. Wide stance. And then we're going to bring your left hand to your right shin and look up underneath your right shoulder. And to the other side. Right hand to left shin and look up underneath the body. Great. Come back through center. Take the feet back through hip distance apart. Take the gaze forward, and then we'll tiptoe all the way up to the top of your mat. Feet stay hip distance apart. Exhale, fold over the legs. You can take a little micro bend in your knees here just to create a little bit more space in your body. And let your body fall over, your top body fall over your legs. Maybe take a hold of your elbows. Let your shoulders and your head stretch towards the mat with gravity. And we'll bring your weight forward into your toes. Great. Let your fingertips melt down towards the mat. Since your knees are bent, they should be probably touching. And then we're going to deeply bend that right knee as we bring the fingertips over to the left side. Now, if your fingertips aren't down at the mat, you can use your block. This is your first opportunity to use your block and place your fingertips on your block. All right, and we're going to go to the other side. So deeply bend the left knee. Walk the fingertips over to the right, and you might use a block on this side too. All right, walk it back through center, release the block. Forward fold over the legs, maybe opposite cross of the arms. And maybe swaying side to side. This always feels good as you decompress the spine. We've been sitting, standing, and this is the reverse of that. All right, let the fingertips melt down towards the mat. It's okay if they don't touch. And then softly bend the knees. Slowly roll all the way up through standing. All the way up, roll the shoulders back and down. Great. Simple sun salutations as we start, just as our warm-up. Let's inhale the hands overhead, press the palms together. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. letting your hands fall down to wherever they can touch. So that might not be the floor, it might be your shins, or it might be a block in front of your toes. Inhale up halfway. Again, you can take the fingers to your block or to your shins. Zip that low core up and roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to a plank. Great. Press through the fingertips, just like we did in beast pose, and then bring the knees down. The chest goes down to the mat as the elbows go back, and the chin. Wave it forward into a baby cobra. Roll the shoulders back and down, engage the glutes and the legs. Exhale, back down. Inhale, press through the fingers, round it back, child's pose, and then curl the toes under, lift into down dog. Slowly getting the body moving here. 5 breaths. Inhale, look forward and step to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale through heart center. Great. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Again, fingertips to shins, floor, or block. Exhale, down to the mat, step to plank. If you guys have gone through my chaturanga tutorial, feel free to do a full chaturanga if that's in your practice. If not, you can come down to your knees and do either exactly what we just did or come to hover down halfway and then lift up into a cobra, where if you're doing your full chaturanga, maybe lift the knees into up dog. Exhale, back down dog. Don't worry, we'll do that one more time in case you didn't get that chaturanga vinyasa connection. All right, inhale, look forward, maybe taking 2 big steps. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale, heart center. Great. We have one more, sun salutation A. Getting warm. Inhale up, mountain pose. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale to plank and move through a vinyasa, whether on your toes or your knees. Just like we did before. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back down dog. Letting yourself ground into your down dog with your breath. All right, inhale, look to the top, step, hop, or jump to the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, heart center. Great, let's get a little bit warmer. Sun salutation B, only one, and we're gonna go slow. Inhale to chair pose, and hold. Sitting down like you're sitting into a chair, that's why it's called chair. And breathe, hold. All right, bring the hands through heart center and hold, maybe squat a little bit lower. All right, let's forward fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to plank. Move through a vinyasa. Exhale, back down dog. All right, let's take our right foot and send it high to the sky. Make sure that your big toe is pointed down towards the mat and not opening up to the side. We're gonna hold here in our 3-legged dog. Great, and then bring that knee into your chest. Press away from the mat as much as you can. And then create as much space with your core and plant that right foot up in between the hands. Pivot the back foot flat and then rise into warrior one. Strong back leg, deep bend through the front knee. All right, bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Without scraping, step that right foot back into plank. Move through a vinyasa here. Up dog, exhale, back down dog. And then we'll move to the left side. Left leg goes high, three-legged dog, and hold. Make any micro adjustments. All right, bring that knee into your chest. Press it away from the mat as much as you can. Zip up that low core and press that right foot up in between the hands. Pivot the back foot flat, warrior one. Sinking down into your warrior one. All right, bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Without scraping, step that left foot back. One more vinyasa here. Exhale, back down dog. 5 breaths in your down dog. Now, if down dog is not serving you right now, you can always bring the knees down to the mat, toes to touch, child's pose. All right, wherever you are, whether child's pose or down dog, we're all gonna meet in down dog. Hopefully you've caught your breath here because we're gonna continue our flow from our down dog. Taking your right foot, we're gonna send it high to the sky, three-legged dog. All right, bring that knee into your chest. Press it away from the mat. Inhale it out long, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that knee into your chest. Inhale it out long. And exhale into the chest and hold. Great, we're gonna do a couple of knee taps here. So let the knee come down to the mat, tap it, and then bring it up with the core. That's 1, 2, 3, last one, and 4. Press it back, three-legged dog, and let that foot fall down to the mat. Great, let's do the left side. Left leg goes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale out long. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale out long. Exhale, knee to chest, and we'll dip. That's 1 tap and 2. 3. Last one, 4. Three-legged dog, down dog. Great. Take the gaze in between the hands, and then we're gonna step up to the top of your mat. This time, if you have blocks, grab them. We're gonna place them hip distance apart. Let's do them in front of the toes. And then inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up through standing. Exhale, forward fold. Place the hands on the blocks. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, hands on the blocks, and then we're gonna step back to plank. Make sure that the blocks are underneath the hands and at shoulder distance apart. If they're not, adjust. And yes, you know where we're going. We're gonna do a chaturanga on your blocks. Feel that deep opening. Exhale, back to down dog. on your blocks. Maybe feel the difference here of your blocks and not. All right, inhale, look forward, and we're going to jump in between your blocks to come to seated. Great. Might need to scoot back into the middle of your mat. All right, I'm going to come to face you guys, but you can stay where you are. We're going to do a couple of exercises here with your blocks around your hips. So I want you to bring your knees into your chest, and yeah, let's bring the legs out in front of you, and then the hands can go right beside your hips with the blocks on top of below them. If you don't have blocks, you can always, again, like I said, use books, or yes, you can use your hands. Blocks just give you a little bit of lift, a little bit of extra room, maybe like 4 inches of extra room. So we're gonna do a couple of L-sits. We're gonna try to go for 8. So L-sits, we already did cats and cows. So I want you to think about a cat back. So we're rounding the back, pressing the back of the spine towards the back of, for me it's the wall. And that is exactly what I want with your L-sit. It's impossible, if you were to use your hands here, it's impossible just to lift up straight, right? I don't get any lift if I'm just lifting straight. However, it might look similar, but if I do a cat back, I can lift up pretty high. So we're gonna do that here with our blocks, or if you don't have them, do exactly what I just did. Keep the heels on the mat. Your heels will, because you're rounding your back, your hips are going to come back and your heels will follow. So blocks are right underneath. Let's inhale, exhale, lift, and back down. Great, that's 1. Let's do 8. And 2, hold, back down, 3, hold, and back down, 4, great, and 5, 6, 7, breathe, and 8, hold, 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 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring it back down. Great. We're not quite done. Keep the blocks where they are. We're going to cross the legs. You have a couple of options. You might cross the legs. That actually is harder. Or if you have a half lotus, you might bring your right foot on top for your half lotus. If you have full lotus, feel free to go for full lotus, but don't strain your knees. So full lotus will be a little bit easier because you are using the force of your legs to keep them together. I'm gonna go for the hard one. We're just gonna cross, but you take whatever feels good to you. And we're gonna do 10 Lolasana lifts right here with your blocks or without. So I'll probably do 4 and 4. So let's lift up, inhale, exhale, lift, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go for 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can definitely feel the difference with blocks and without. All right, let's come. If you turned with me, then you can come to face the top of your mat. If not, just come over the crossed legs into hands and knees. Curl the toes under and lift. Down dog. Let's do 1 deep breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Great. Inhale, look forward. And then we're going to step your right foot up in between the hands. Let the back knee fall down. And then untuck the back toes. Inhale, rise to low lunge. Great. So zip up that low core. Don't forget about that. And again, you can let your hips sink down, but don't forget about the core. That'll make sure that your back is all right. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. Should feel a nice stretch along the left hip, the front quad. All right, and then we'll start to extend that front leg straight. If you have blocks, then you might take them to frame your front foot. Bringing the hands onto the blocks and pulling that right hip back as your toes flex into a runner's lunge or half split. If you don't have blocks, you can always tent up onto your fingertips. Just trying to make sure that your back is not rounding. So this time we're not rounding. We're trying to go for that cow back, pressing the chest forward and lifting that tailbone. Ooh, if you do that, you can definitely feel it no matter where you are. Should be a nice stretch along the right side this time. All right, so wherever you are, we might have blocks, we might be on the floor, but wherever you are, we're going to flow between those two, keeping the fingers down. You can either have them on blocks, that's inhale into a low lunge, exhale to a runner's, inhale low lunge, exhale runners. Or if you don't have blocks, you can either keep them on the mat or even have them, if you want to challenge your balance, on your knee. Inhale forward and exhale back. One more time, inhale forward and exhale back. Get rid of the blocks if you had them. Bend through that front knee and curl it forward. Curl the back toes under, and then we're going to lift that back leg. Seesaw back and forth along that leg. And then plant the hands if they're not already. Use the core to lift that knee up into your chest, just like we had that low one knee into your chest before. Let's do 4 dips. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, down dog. Great, let's go for the other side here. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, place it in between the hands. Back knee falls down, low lunge. First time on this side, might feel different. Inhale, the hands up. Zip up the core and let the hips sink. Thinking about your breath. All right, let's extend into our half split option of blocks or not. Remember that cow pose with pressing the chest forward and the happy tailbone pressing towards the sky. All right, let's bend through that front knee here. And we're going to seesaw back and forth just like we did before. So take whatever variation you had before, whether blocks, fingers, or crossing the hands on the knees. Inhale the chest forward. Exhale it back. Inhale it forward. And exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Last time. Exhale, bend through that front knee. Frame that foot with your hands, curl the back toe under and seesaw back and forth. And when you're ready, trying to bring that knee into the chest, we'll take 4 taps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3-legged dog.
and down dog. Great. Let's take a reset right here. So either down dog or child's pose. 5 breaths. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Alright, take the knees down to the mat, and we'll find your blocks if you have them. This is our next flow, and we're going to try to do them on blocks. If you don't have blocks, or if they're too slippery to put on your mat, then we'll just take the hands down to the mat. You can easily do it with your hands on the mat. So we'll curl the toes under, find a down dog on your blocks. Maybe even notice how your hips and your heels can go lower to the mat, hips can go higher. All right, let's try our 3-legged dog on the right side. Ooh, it's different. All right, let's bring that knee into your chest. Ooh, it's a lot farther away from the mat. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, foot plants right in between the blocks. You have a lot more room, don't you? Inhale up into crescent lunge. So we're gonna leave the blocks behind. Inhale all the way up, crescent lunge. The back heel is up. Let's take 5 breaths here. All right, now let's hop that back foot in until it's flat as your front leg extends straight. Pyramid pose, bring the hands to the waist. Make sure both of the hips are pointed straight, and then we'll forward fold over the legs. This is a great opportunity to use blocks, maybe even on the highest setting, because this is a deep hamstring stretch. Remember, dragging the left hip forward, leaning over the leg, but making sure your back is relatively flat. All right, we're gonna take your right block and plant it right in front of your right foot. And we'll rise into a half moon, lifting the left leg high, stack the hips one on top of the other. Your hand can either go to your hips, or you can extend it high to the sky, half moon. All right, I have a challenge for you guys. We're going to unstack those hips, so bring them to face the mat, and then slowly bring both of the hands up to the chest to come into a warrior 3. Deeply bend that knee, the right knee. Great, and then we'll slowly let that back foot fall down to the mat, and bring both of the hands to the inside of your right foot. You might even heel toe the right foot out a little bit wider. Great, now we're in our low lunge. So you have a couple of options to fall into your low lunge. I like to bring my back knee down. You can keep it lifted if that feels good. I like to also use blocks on the insides of my feet to bring my elbows down to the blocks and not try to strain to come all the way down to the mat. We're gonna try to keep that knee in close to your body. It's not bad to let it go out, it's just a different stretch. Press the chest forward, happy chest. Let yourself breathe. Alright, let's come up onto the hands. You can place the blocks to the side. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back leg, and then a right hand can come to the sky into a twisted dragon or a simple twist. Great, bring both of the hands down to frame that foot, maybe even heel toe it in. And then we'll let the back knee fall down. Inhale, regular low lunge, just like we've done before. Exhale, half splits. Great, and this time, you might take your blocks and you might just inch the right foot out a little, heel out a little bit farther, maybe inch the back foot back, and use your blocks as little props. They are props to prop your body up into a high split. Maybe go down into the full thing, but just taking stock of what's happening in your body, what feels okay. Wherever you are, breathe. All right, wherever you are, let's slowly come up. Let's find ourselves back into a low lunge. Curl the back toes under. Sweep that right foot back into a three-legged dog. This time we'll take scorpion dog. So bend the knees, stack the hips, open up that side of your body. All right, bring that right foot down to the mat into your down dog. Great. Let's bring the knees to the mat. Take the blocks and plant them up at the top of your mat if you did so for your flow before. If not, just take yourself on your hands. Down dog. Great. Inhale, three-legged dog with your left leg lifted. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to outside tricep, left tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, plant the foot up in between the hands. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge, and hold. Deep bend through that front knee. Great job. Bring the hands to the hips, extend that front leg straight, and hop the back foot in until it can be diagonally flat. Make sure both of the hip points are pointed to the front of the mat, and exhale, lean over the front leg, pyramid pose. Take the left block, place it in front of your foot, maybe a couple inches, and lift up into our half moon. Key to stability is core engagement and a drishti, which is looking at one point that's not moving. All right, let's take our challenge. Ooh, I'm feeling wobbly on this side. Let's take our challenge, bring both of your hip points down to face the mat, and lift up into a warrior three. Bend through that front knee. Deeply, 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 and hold. And let the back foot fall down into a crescent. Whoop. Place both of the hands on the inside of your left foot. Heel toe the left toes to the outside of your mat. And we're going to find your lizard pose. So remember the variation that you did on the other side. Maybe it involves blocks and maybe it doesn't. We're going to find that. Each side might feel different. yourself sink down. All right, let's come back up onto the hands. Place the blocks to the side. We're still going to use them. And curl the back toes under. Right hand plants down. Left hand lifts up. Twisted dragon. Exhale. Both hands frame the front foot. So maybe you heel toe in. And then let the back knee fall down. Low lunge. All right. Exhale. Extend into a half split on this side. Left leg forward. And then this is your opportunity to come down a little bit deeper. So you might use your blocks. You might scoot the heel forward, the back knee back. You might use your blocks as little stilts. Or you might even use them as a little prop underneath the leg, like so. All right, just last breath. All right, let's come back up. Bend through that front knee. Find yourself in a low lunge. No, not super graceful. All right, frame that front foot. And sweep the left foot up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips, scorpion dog. All right, place the foot down into three-legged dog. Inhale, take the gaze forward and step, hop, or jump to seated. Bring the feet forward. Take a hold of a block. If you don't have one, this is an opportunity for you to use, like literally anything. You can use a pillow, a water bottle, anything that you can use to grab on between the hands. And actually for our first one, let's come down to our back, and then we're going to bring your block or your pillow in between the knees. Squeeze it with your inner thighs and bring the knees parallel to your mat, and bring the hands behind your head loosely without cranking your neck, just as a little bit of support. Keep the elbows wide. Inhale, and on your exhale, let's lift and hold and back. Great. Let's lift and hold and back. Lift and back. Great. Lift and back. Find your rhythm. Hopefully you have some music on, unlike me. Lift and down. Great. Let's do two more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Great. Let's take the block and we're going to place it in between your feet and lift your feet towards the sky. You can keep a little micro bend in your knees. That'll probably feel a little bit better on your low back. So squeeze it together between your ankles. Bring the hands overhead. Exhale, lift up, catch the block. Inhale, bring the block out over the head as the legs come down diagonal. Exhale, bring it back through center. Give the block to your feet. Inhale out long. You know where I'm going here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now it's super important here to not let your legs go too low, or else it'll hurt your back. So that'll be different for everyone. Keep breathing. Keep going. Switch. and switch, switch, and switch. Last one. Great. Bring the knees into your chest. Awesome. You might sway side to side or up and back. All right, let's bring the knees into tabletop. Now we're going to take your block and place it on your left knee. And just like a bicycle, so take a hold of it with your left hand. Place it onto your left knee. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders with your right hand behind your head, and then we're going to bring your right elbow to the block, press it into your knee, and release the left hand. Extend the right leg long. Great. We're going to hold the block here as we do leg lifts. So one leg up, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can feel it. 6, 7, and 8. Bring the block back in. This is your challenge. Take the block to both of the knees. Left elbow comes to put the block, to place the block. You might need to readjust. It's just a challenge. And extend the left leg, and we'll lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring both of these back in, and you can rest the head. Great job. Maybe sway side to side or forward and back. All right. Let's lift the heels towards the sky. Take the block toward the sky, and we're going to lift here. So as you lift, let's exhale. That's 1, maybe touch the toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can always do this with bent knees. 7, and 8. Great. Keep the block over the head. We'll start to extend the legs out diagonal, and then bring the hands over the head and hold. Follow the body. Don't let yourself hold your breath. We're still breathing. Maybe let the legs fall down a little bit farther. Great. And then bring the knees into your chest. All right. Place the block to the side just for a moment. Plant the feet down on the mat. The hands can go right beside, and then we'll slowly lift up into a bridge pose. Little back bend here to counter stretch. If you can squiggle the shoulders in together and take a hold of your hands underneath your back, that'll help you press up into a little bridge to stretch the abs. All right, let's slowly come back down to the mat. Come up onto your elbows here, and then we'll let the knees fall over to the right side, if there isn't a block there. Chin towards the sky. And we'll go to the left. Windshield wiper over. Back through center, extend the legs long, and then we'll go into fish pose. So rolling the shoulders back, arching the back, and letting the head come towards the mat. It might touch the mat. Either stay right here, or if you would like a more restorative posture, you might take the block horizontal on your mat and then go for, place it right underneath your middle upper back. It's like right where your shoulders are, and then let yourself fall into the same posture. Wherever you are, we're going to press into your elbows. Come all the way up here. Bring the block beside your hips as you fall down to the mat. If you don't have a block, come into a bridge pose. If you do, we're going to lift the hips, place the block right at the top of your sacrum, and place the hips down on the block. Nice restorative posture here. Alright, wherever you are, whether you're in a bridge pose, then bring it back down. If you are in a restorative bridge, like me, you might lift your heels to the sky for a restorative waterfall. If you don't have blocks, then we'll just lift the heels to the sky with the hips on the mat. Nice inversion here with your heart below your hips and below the feet, feeling the reverse effects of gravity. Alright, when you're ready, let's bring the feet down to the mat. If you have the block, place it to the side. And we'll start to find our final resting pose. Now that might be different for everyone. You might heel toe the feet out to the, a little bit wider than your hips and let the knees fall in. That'll be really good on your low back. You want to keep the hip opening going. You might take the bottoms of the feet together, open out wide like a butterfly, and maybe even take blocks and place them on the knees, or if you need more support for your butterfly, put them under the knees. Great way to use blocks in restorative postures. Or you might just take the legs out long and start to find your Shavasana. Your final resting pose. A place and a time where we let ourselves have a little bit of space. Slow down the breath. Maybe let the eyes close. your mind wandering, slowly bring it back to your mat. Feeling the movement of your breath wherever you feel it in your body. And feeling the relaxation of your muscles down into the floor. This is such a gift to your body and to yourself. So if you have time, I do encourage you to continue your Shavasana. However, if you need to move on with your day, then feel free to start to move the fingertips and the toes, and then start to find some organic movement, just like we did before, something that feels good. When you're ready, let the knees fall over to the side. Rest the head on the arm. And then we'll start to press up to that same easy seat that we began in. Rest the hands on the knees. Wherever you are, whether you're still in your Shavasana or you're seated, let's take 2 intentional breaths. So let's inhale through the nose. And exhale. Great, one more inhale. And exhale. Awesome. Thank you so much for practicing with me this Monday. Sending love and light out to you right now. Namaste.